Hello and welcome. I am so glad you're here. I'm Beth, a creator-based coach with CMH Coaching for Life. I'm here today to help you and those you love create a life you feel grounded and at home in. Think of a life where you feel peace, love for those around you, and in a flow with just enough challenge to keep you happy and creating something wonderful. Sounds like magic, but it's not. You can create that life every single day. You can have a life full of love, excitement, hope, and creation. Our mission at CMH Coaching is to flood the earth with light through compassion, mindfulness, and hope. And I'm going to ask a favor of you. If you like what you see and hear today, think of someone you know that would enjoy and benefit from this message. Our mission is to flood the world with compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Share this with them. But for now, this is time just for you. So settle into whatever you're doing and enjoy this time with the girls, where we create that one awesome, amazing, perfect life every one of us is seeking.
You gotta watch your thinking. Watch your thinking. Watch your thinking.
Hi guys, right now. But I didn't want to leave you without a podcast and without a creator-based weekly tool today. So I'm sharing this idea with you for self-care summer. Now, as you listen to it, you might not immediately see that it's self-care. So think about, how is this principle and this idea self-care? Okay. Today we're talking about, where is your center? Now, when you're a kid and you're learning to drive, you want to pay attention to that center line, right? But as you've learned, or at least as I learned, when I paid attention to the center line immediately in front of me, I had a dickens of a time trying to keep it together. So I was taught to look out as far as I could to the horizon to see the center line and let my center focus be out that way. But you want to stay centered, right? You don't want to drive where it's not going to be safe. And you really want your lines to be your friends. So today we're going to talk about, where is your center? That's also encompassing backward law number 1, which is focus out to bring more in. It's pretty backwards, right? Focus out to bring more in. But let's just talk about what that might look like. Here's a side idea. We are taught self-care is looking out for number 1. We are taught the importance of boundaries and how critical it is not to let ourselves be spread too thin. We're taught to put our own oxygen mask on first. In fact, I just wrote a blog on that a couple of weeks ago, how important it is to take care of yourself and to put your own oxygen mask on first. And that if you don't, you're not going to be able to take care of anybody, right? That's a really important thing, is to take care of yourself so that you do that as a service to the people you love, so that you can take care of them. You have to, because you won't be able to take care of anybody else. But then we start looking at, I'm the most important person. So let's try on those thoughts using the 3 points that are so important. Is it true? And I'm going to leave this for you guys to think about. Is it kind? Is it helpful? These principles, you're the most important. Take care of you first, or you won't be able to take care of others. And you got to have boundaries. Let's just leave those for a minute and you think about that. Here's the contrary. If you work hard, you qualify for blessings. Now, we've seen that to be true. We work hard, we give all we can, and God magnifies our efforts, which is beautiful. And we waste and wear out our lives to bring to light the hidden things of darkness. We work hard for our Creator. We work hard for the people we love. We work hard for our families and for all of the goodness that we know is there. But then you've got that other thing about boundaries and about looking out for number 1. So how do we balance? How do you do both? How do you serve at full capacity and not wear out? And why can't we do it all? Girlfriend, I have tried doing it all. I have pushed and pushed and pushed. We have pushed and pushed and pushed. And I've learned I can't do it all. I burn out. So take this to your to your creator, take it to your meditation, take it to sleep, right? Sleep on it. Why can't we do it all? What do you think? What do you feel about why we can't do it all? Well, I brought you two approaches that you can consider. And obviously, there may be more approaches, and you can listen for inspiration. But this is food for thought. As you consider our self-care summer, consider these two approaches. The first approach is what we were talking about, the self-centered approach, the boundaries, the looking out for number one, the taking care of yourself. You can't take care of anybody. You can't take care of anybody if you don't take care of yourself, right? So we have a self-centered approach. And in a self-centered approach, on the dramatic end, not on the balanced end, but on the far left or the far right, on the dramatic end, a self-centered approach, everything's going to point inward, right? It's going to point at me. So we're going to talk about that far left side, completely self-centered, not a balanced self-centered. Completely self-centered, everything comes in. I'm lonely because I'm isolated, because I'm not able to see anything outside of myself, right? It's all about me. It's all about my oxygen. It's all about my boundaries. It's all about my time. It's all about how I feel. And that can be a pretty lonesome place to be. It also can be a place of judgment. Now, I know personally, when I get judgy, the first thing that happens for me is my inner critic takes off and she starts giving me all kinds of terrible things about me. Because as soon as I judge other people, she's busy. Oh, she's like, oh, you want to judge? Okay, we'll judge. And she'll show me all the things that are wrong with me. And then I get all judged out and I get discouraged. So lonely, discouraged, and that leads me to low self-esteem, which is just a short reach to comparison. Boy, as soon as I'm judgy, I'm comparing. And all of this energy is coming in to me. It's my choices of being centered in myself that bring all of this into me. Your struggle goes here. I know you have one. Everybody does. It's part of being a human being. So consider what happens with you when you are totally self-centered. Far left, okay, there's not room for anybody else. Your boundaries, your number one, your life, your issues, your feelings. What's your struggle? Where does it manifest for you? Another one that we look at is injustice. You know what? That's not fair. You didn't even consider. And that breeds anger. Or how about this one? Scarcity. There's just not enough. There's not enough time. There's not enough money. There's not enough people. There's not enough love. There's not enough. There's not enough. And that scarcity makes us grabby. And we get on the far left side, we get the greed. Or the ultimate, right? Fear and resistance. All of these things, when we're drastically focused on ourselves, breed fear. All of them. So let me just consider showing you an alternate approach. Okay. Check this one out. Because I know when I'm on the far left of the self-center and it's all about me, I'm not happy. But you know what? I think the self-centered approach is valid, because if you don't put your oxygen mask on first, if you don't have boundaries, if you don't know what works for you and what doesn't work for you, you could get all used up. So we're looking for balance. And this next approach I give you to consider could be an important part of your balance. It's creator-centered. Now, your creator, for me, my creator is Jesus Christ. For your creator could be any other creation story that you espouse or that you believe in and work with. I have friends who believe in evolution, and the world was not created. The world is the creation that they worship. And then everybody in between. But whatever creation means for you, let's consider a creator-centered experience. You ready? This is what I love about a creator-centered experience. If I'm looking out at my creator, do you see that? The first thing I'm doing is looking out. I'm not all center focused, right? My energy begins to flow outward as I'm focused on my creator. And so I feel more abundant. First of all, I see so much more when I'm focused outward. And that abundance leads me to be willing to share because I know there's always more coming to me. There's just so much out there, you guys. It will always be flowing into you. And so I'm much more likely to share when I am focused on my creator. Also, if I've got lots to share, I'm going to share the love and I'm going to share my love for my neighbor. And I'm going to have more time too, abundance of time. And I'm going to share that time. So I'm going to be willing to help and to give and to do. And my energy is going to keep flowing out. Well, what happens when my energy is flowing outward? Have you guys ever noticed that when you've got, like with a hose, when you've got lots of things coming out of it, it naturally draws something else in? Yeah. Because you have to be careful. Like you can't leave your garden hose or your pool hose in the water and turn off because it will naturally draw the water out of your pool and start a siphon going back out again. It's just a natural thing that as things are flowing out, they're drawing more things in. So we've got this creator-centered movement of abundance and sharing, of loving and helping. And then, whoa, all of a sudden, you're loving yourself because you're feeling so much better, right? You know that stuff's going to keep coming. Abundance is there. You've been reaching out and letting that energy flow out, and you're loving yourself and you're feeling more compassion, which kind of makes a cycle, right? That love yourself means love your neighbor, and that compassion, that self-compassion just keeps coming. Again, that outward flow where things are naturally coming in and flowing outward. Your insight goes here. Think about this, okay? We're halfway around the circle. The abundance, the sharing, the loving, the helping, the natural compassion, the outward flow of energy that draws more energy through you. What would this make you better at? Let's talk about a couple more. What about feeling more mindful if we're creator-centered? Now, I wasn't quite sure about that, but as I thought about it, to be creator-centered leads me to gratitude and to an awareness. And that awareness allows me to be more mindful of everything. And when I'm mindful, I'm accepting. I'm not all judgy. It's just so much nicer walking through life, being mindful of washing the dishes, being mindful of what my feet feel as I'm walking, a mindfulness walk, being mindful of the people around me and the way they look and the beauty of the world. All of those things lead me to be a lot less judgy. They lead me to acceptance, to understand, and to feel centered. It's a beautiful thing. And then how about this? With mindfulness and acceptance comes hope. You can just see the abundance, the love, the compassion, the insight you've had, the mindfulness. You can just see that hope is the natural outgrowth of those things. And hope is energy. Just total energy. Things go, right? Things grow with hope. They move you forward with hope. It is just an amazing, amazing energy. And finally, that hope leads to faith and optimism. So we're propelled again. Watch the cycle. We're propelled again to abundance and to love and help and to self-compassion and mindfulness. And that hope and faith breed more energy. And you just keep going round and round in this beautiful creator-centered program. It's gorgeous. So think about it. Our creator loves us and wants us to succeed. So what could a creator-centered approach look like in your life specific to self-care? This is our self-care summer. All month long, we're doing gifted. We've been gifted talents. We've been gifted breath. We've been gifted so many things. How does this creator-centered approach apply with that, with self-care and with receiving the gifts that we have? This is our July theme. This is what we're going to be working on. So I leave it to you to just think about, let it distill in your heart as you get ready for Independence Day. Could it make you feel more independent? Could it increase your self-care? And how are you as a 50-50 girl? Are you 50-50 with self-centered, creator-centered? Are you 40-60? Is it different one day to the next? What do you want to do with that? Okay, so while you're thinking about that, just remember, tomorrow's Independence Day. There's no coaching clear. The next day, Wednesday, is book club at 1:30. And it's A Dog's Journey with Jacine. I heard last week it was great. And then Saturday, Jen is teaching us the tapas acupressure technique and some other techniques for understanding how our body is speaking to us better, understanding more of the things that your body is communicating to you, helping you be more grounded, helping you release stress. It's just going to be a great Saturday morning, 9 a.m. self-care time just for you. Come in pajamas. It's good. This is about self-care. We're just going to be there talking and learning together so you can have your creative life. Thanks for listening. We'll see you all again soon.
Moment by moment, it's all up to me. 'Cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think.
Hey, thanks for joining us today in A Creator-Based Life. I hope you felt that compassion, mindfulness, and hope you came seeking today. You can find more of it at cmhcoaching.com or on Linktree/cmhcoaching. Of course, any social media outlet, we're there too. Because you felt the benefit and light in this message, please invite those you care deeply about to join us. Help us to create a ripple effect across the globe of compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Then we can create a creator-based life together. Have a great week, y'all. We'll talk to you soon.